stream, guys. Test. Looks good. All right. Let me move my chair up a little bit. Today is comfy in the office. Omar is still out sick. Let's see. So that's kind of unfortunate, but supposedly he is not getting worse, which is always a plus. Hey, is chat going to be working today, Tanya, or did you break it again? If you're seeing the chat, shoot a message so I can test to see if it's working, please. But yeah, no, he's going to test again today. We don't know how he's looking, so it's a little. He just sounds like crap. It is what it is. Gonna be going over some fun stuff today. I know that there's always been some streams that are better than others. Hey, the Yeti's not picking up. Oh, it's because it's muted. There we go. Yeti's picking up. We have a Yeti microphone here, in case you're wondering. Any messages? I'm not seeing any of the messages, so give us a second. Tanya still hasn't sorted out the technical difficulties. Tanya, if I close this, can you relog into it? To see if we can sync up the chat? So you're not seeing chat? No, again. Alright, just take my phone for now. Alright, I'm going to close that. Oh. Perfect. Let me mute myself here. Tanya is kind enough to give me her phone. So I'll try to look down periodically to go over chat without just sitting. Actually, I can hold it up like this so it's not like ridiculous. Just make sure that you know this is not my phone. I don't own a pink phone case. That is not my style. Oh, thank you, Angelina. She's going to see, that's a really nice thought. She's putting it on a stand, but this stand is like, I guess we can do that. You're probably going to have to get really close because you got to, it's fine if it's in shot. You got to realize I'm pretty blind. Cute phone, dude. Thanks, me too. So, what's up, Red Rebel? I'm going to go over some new stuff. We'll start with some fun stuff. In case you aren't, if you've already, you're in the loop on it and you're ahead of me on it, then I'll give you my impression on some of the things going on in the news. And I'm going to end with a story that I'm going to be reading for the first time. I only saw the headlines on it. And it's someone we have our sights set on. And I'm reluctant to mention their name because, they have got a much bigger microphone or megaphone or whatever you want to call it. But I think battle's coming to a head with them. And we've got, I do some writing, and we've got some articles out there that are likely to be published, and I've got one of them. I won't call it a hit piece or anything like that, but it's just it puts out a lot of truth that does not look very favorable on a certain very large multi-billion-dollar organization, and some potentially shady business practices where, juicy, drop the details. It's kind of a hard thing to like, legal kind of puts me in a little bit of a box. So I think the better way to do it would be to speak in hypotheticals with maybe changing some names to protect, because there's um, do I hear frogs or am I losing it? No frogs on our end. So if it's in the speaker or the microphone or something, what the? No, I hear a frog now. Tanya, I swear to God, I just heard. Is Angelina doing something over there?
No, it's coming from the pond outside.
Stop it. That's Angelina messing with us.
That's the chupacabra for sure.
The chupacabra. There's no chupacabra. We do have at our office here. It's pretty funny. We have a possum up in the attic area at the office, and I see the mouse cursor flying across the screen. I see. Anyway, we hear sometimes like some crazy noises, and of course the Hispanic Mexicans are like chupacabra, chupacabra, and the rest of us are like, what?
You were saying Bigfoot.
Yeah, we say Bigfoot, right? That's how we roll. Bigfoot's up there. Chupacabra's a very like Mexican Hispanic thing, right?
Everyone knows who the chupacabra.
No, everybody knows the chupacabra. I'm sorry, did you just hyper roll your R's?
Yeah.
Okay.
Roberto.
Roberto. Chupatanya. Dude, you guys are awesome. So this company, back to it. I'll probably speak in they may or may not. You guys are gonna be like, why are you being such a pussy? And I'm gonna have to do that because legal reasons they're gonna. I can't compromise us legally, and this way, there's no real way that they can retaliate. So. Anyway, but I believe it's coming to a head. We'll probably be going, if things continue the course, there's a couple different routes to go. The first one is to shine light on some of the shady stuff and with just illuminating some of the things that the public deserves to know, and honestly, the regulators deserve to know. Because regulation's coming, and I said from the beginning with you guys, one of the things we did when we got into crypto is there's bad actors in it, and bad actors, I don't want to see them thrive. I want to see them either forced to become good actors and policies put to rest, and sometimes if companies aren't going to do that on their own, they got to be forced. And so first thing we can do is go public with some things, which is probably going to be the approach. And then if Mario wants to push it, we can go legal with things. And it might come to that too, but I think the first approach is to go public and see if it changes their behavior, because it's shady as hell. So I'll get into some details in a non-detailed way after we go to something that's relevant to it. But I want to go over the news. The girls are fired up, by the way. The branding and marketing are they are on fire. They're getting here like crazy early and leaving crazy late. It's a complete flip now that the Omar's out. They turned on the engine. They're like, okay, there's gonna be a little delay in the button, no sense waiting for that, go, and then as the button rolls in, they're going to increase our United States based marketing versus worldwide. So they're going more internationally now, and then as soon as the buy now button or the GAN is available, we'll focus more on US marketing, because that's going to be the first audience that's able to use the GAN. But let's go to news. So start off with some fun things. If you didn't know, it's a good day to be whoever this person is. They sent this person's wallet, I guess it's a woman, Never know nowadays. They sent 10 million instead of $100. So crypto.com. I don't think Matt Damon did it personally. I don't think he was behind the keyboard, but when converting from into what they call Way, we use a converter and it's easy. Even a large company can make a mistake. Granted, if we did that, we could have taken it back as an accident and corrected the value, but obviously crypto.com doesn't have very good tools otherwise, and she went and bought a mansion. Dude, she couldn't spend it fast enough. Is this a good long-term strat for Anubit? Is a currently small fish that are going in a big billion-dollar pond? Honestly, let me talk about that directly, because we've been going over different strategies. As a general rule, it doesn't matter whether people are saying good things or bad things about your coin. As long as you're getting talked about, it's considered a good thing. So as if we get what will be international headlines with the situation that we've kind of vetted out and experienced, we're on the losing side of a situation where there's a what I believe to be a bad actor doing something. It will make local, national headlines. It'll make international headlines, and our name will be involved with it. I think as long as our name's involved with it, I think it's going to be a net positive good thing. And especially considering anyone that gets to research what we said we want to do is we want to be part of cleaning up crypto, right? I want crypto to be a great place for people to invest their money, feel secure. We want to bring new blood into crypto, new holders into crypto that have never held crypto before. We want to grow the industry. And as long as the bad actors are what keeps people from moving forward into it, because of the reputation. So yeah, we're gonna. The only way to clean it up is to go head on. I think our coin price will drastically benefit if we're part of putting a spotlight on some things that are just honestly on the surface they look to be really shady. And I'll break it down. I'm going to break it down. You guys are going to understand it. I sent an email officially to a very multi-billion-dollar company just this morning on it. We've been in talks, and it's something that if it goes public will make headlines for sure. So all right. But yeah, crypto.com sent a lady, she bought a mansion. Congratulations. Looks like it's an Australian story. Again, I would never date a crypto guy again. What women say about dating in crypto. 3 women share how greed, gluttony, and pride have turned them off to dating crypto bros. I'm like, I just saw that. I was like, it was kind of funny. Let's see. I agree with that from a PR standpoint, but wonder if any sort of legal proceedings, mad people with big wallets could hurt Anubit. I'm less concerned with we should hope that someone with a really big wallet starts attacking Anubit, because if they've got a really big wallet, they've got a lot of listeners, they've got ears, and people are gonna, I think that when, the truth shall set you free, if people saw things from our perspective on this situation, I think that people will migrate over and be like, well, you shouldn't attack them. You're just highlighting you're codifying their position, and you are legitimizing it. And so I'm rooting for that. Let them attack, because we've got truth, and they're gonna look really stupid if they do that. I hope they do. That would be great. My girlfriend checks out when I start talking crypto. Yeah, they have to be in the mood. They're like, oh, tell me how your day was. And then you're like, well, crypto. And they're like, so to each his own. Bitcoin's dropping a little bit. Who knows where this is headed? And anyone tells you that they definitively know is, in my opinion, dang, I'm getting blown up on my phone. I apologize. A little bit of a fool. Hey, Tanya, how come is it just where it appears? How come the picture sorry, I'm sorting out a little issue here. How come usually I'm on the right-hand corner? Hold on, guys. We're gonna see my picture's gone. Fixing a technical issue. I don't know how we get it all set up and then something happens and then it's all of a sudden not set up. Drink your wine first. That's funny. Everyone's comes to me about crypto questions. Yeah, no, that is one thing I will say for sure is when it comes to go to main scene, maybe you need to do a new camera, a video capture device. There you go. So there you go. Nope. Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. She's working on the. I don't know if she knows what she's doing there, but it's pretty funny to watch her try. You're doing a great job. It's fine. We'll move forward. We'll fix that later. Okay, she's. Oh, that looks but way better. I was worried this whole time that I looked terrible. I mean, she did get me there, I guess. Oh, there we go. I think you need to redo the chroma key, if you would. Filters, chroma key. Maybe just do defaults, or, oh yeah, that looks good. There you go. All right. Tanya, I take back everything I said. You fixed the chroma key just like that.
Thank you.
Impressive. Everyone needs to talk to me about crypto questions. Need to send that capture device to the front. Yeah, no, we were trying to do that. It was bugging out. So now she has 2 capture devices. Let's remove that one. Yes. All right. So it stands for I referenced the IT department, the irate Tanya. So Bitcoin dips. Like I was saying, anyone that tells you that they definitively know is full of it. I will tell you this. All right. Here's how my head is going. And you can agree or disagree. This isn't advice. You spend your money how you want. I'm looking at Ethereum. It's about to come up to the merge. That's supposedly imminent. So I'm bullish on Ethereum for the merge, and I think it's gonna do okay, whatever that is. I think it's going to do okay until a time as to which people realize that the fees aren't as low as they were hoping, despite the fact that transactions have gone through the roof. Like, you can all of a sudden going from 15 transactions to 15,000 is a huge difference. But if it doesn't translate to lower fees, I expect it to take a dip. And if it doesn't take a dip, then, people are just stupid. Which maybe people are stupid, I don't know. But I think increasing transaction speed is going to be huge. They need to increase cost or decrease cost per transaction. So I've heard that they won't, but you hear from all these different sources. It's so hard to decipher who's full of shit. And so that's one of the challenges in crypto, because even people that sometimes are right on things, sometimes they're just right because they're dumb luck, or they listen to the another person that knows what they're talking about. They don't actually know. They just are positioning themselves as some sort of authority. And so I don't know definitively that prices are going to go down. I know that definitively I read that transaction speed and volume is supposed to increase exponentially. So it makes me pretty bullish on it, at least till the dust settles. And then if the benefits aren't like immense, I see it kind of retreating back to levels that are more in line. But I think it's going to get an artificial bump, at least temporarily. So that's my 2 cents on it. I think it's outperformed Bitcoin, even though they tend to be very lockstep, because they're the two most, combined with Tether, they're the two most paired coins, would be Bitcoin, Tether, the three technically, Bitcoin, Tether, and Ethereum. So, okay. And number of pairs matters. When you're linked up, that's why Tether does so well, is because everybody uses Tether, even though I think Tether is fucking horrible for other reasons, because as far as I understand, Tether has the least backing of all the stable coins. So why the least backed one is also the most commonly used is a lot of the exchanges, when you go into them, everything's paired with Tether, and it's like, what are you fucking doing? Why would you support that's a shitty project, but whatever. All right, so I don't know what's going to happen to the market. So hopefully, I'm okay with it going down, because I still have been rooting for a little more death and destruction in the crypto industry to rot out. But if it's not going to be death and destruction, then it might as well go up. I just want to see some shitty tokens go away, but I don't think in places that are vulnerable, I want to see them kind of get, extinguished. I want to see their flames snuffed out, to make room for, regrowth, make room for people that are, the Yahoo has to die for the Google to emerge. The AOL has to go away for better ways, to make way for all the social media that we have today. You need a MySpace to kind of pop in order to make room for the plethora of Facebook and Twitter and TikTok and Snapchat or Instagram. All those things emerge out of the ashes. So if I'm rooting for some ashes, it's only because I know it can make room for people that do a better job. Let's talk about some not so fun stuff. I guess fun and kind of like everybody likes seeing someone get their just desserts. So this guy, the Thodex, do you guys caught in Albania sect to be extra? This is the Turkish exchange, the Thodex. He skipped town. He basically rug pulled the exchange for the tune of $2 billion, and he faces 40,000 years in jail. That's a couple years. That's 1 or 2 lifetimes, biblical lifetimes. So, so they caught him. He now faces. So last year, related scams weighed in it. I didn't know it was that big. Almost $8 billion in crypto scams, and that's just the ones that they're counting. I know that. Oh my God, DCT is an Ethereum killer, anyways. Oh, dang. An Ethereum killer. So tired of hearing about Ethereum killers. It's going to kill Ethereum. The only thing that will kill Bitcoin and Ethereum, truthfully, is Bitcoin and Ethereum. They need to work against themselves in as many ways as possible. And in order so I look at what's stacked against them and yeah, they're, Bitcoin, no smarts, expensive to move things. It's, it doesn't do any intelligent, functionality whatsoever. That's if it dies, it's because of that. It's not because some other coin. If Ethereum goes away, it's because, well, they're trying this merge, this whole, listen, I can tell you that on a developer standpoint, doing what they're trying to do with merging from proof of work to proof of stake is monumental. Especially while things are functioning and trying to do this on a live thing. It's one thing if you're doing things on an offline mode where it's just like what's live. There's no difference between a live and a sandbox environment where you don't have to worry about how it affects things. You just get to treat it like this solid state system. They're trying to change a car tire while it's driving down a road, right? So it's that's a hard thing to do. You're like, well, damn, that's impossible. You can't change a car tire. Well, yeah, you got to get a jack that can go 80 miles per hour down the freeway and stays on and level road and pop the tire off, somehow not like die while you're doing it. It's like, how do you change a car tire while the car's driving? And that's kind of what they're doing. So here's the thing. If they're doing it, they think there's a benefit, right? If they're going to go and do the impossible, they think there's going to be there's a reason why. They're not doing it for fun. There's got to be a huge carrot that they see a benefit for making that happen. Because it's a big challenge. So in line with that, I think that Ethereum is trying to not kill itself because they see the writings on the wall, like, oh well, this proof of work thing there's like an invisible line when it becomes unfeasible with proof of work. And Bitcoin hasn't reached it yet. It's still going. But as the world starts to push back against the model of proof of work and its ever increasing consumption of energy, look at what's going on in Europe. I mean, I don't know if you guys do the news, but right now in some places in Europe, it's more expensive to charge an electric car than it is for gasoline. So electricity can be expensive. Energy usage on proof of work model of verifying transactions can be problematically expensive and prohibitively. So whether it's regulation or whether it's prices, whether it's other things, they absolutely are making the right choice to try to get off of that antiquated, outdated model and expensive model of verifying transactions. So kudos to the team behind that. Kudos to all involved. I'm glad they're doing it. I'm not a tree hugger, so to speak, but I do like the idea that we're not frivolous with our resources. So $10 in DCT will change your life and pay for our centerpieces. I'm trying hard not to talk any shit on DCT. Although I said I would talk shit about tokens, not people, because I don't want to talk crap about people. And as far as I could tell, there was nothing special. It was a copy and paste coin. On a technical level, on a development level, it is literally cookie cutter copy and paste with a name change. That's it. There was nothing special about it. I know the story behind it, about why it was born. For those of you on Telegram, you kind of saw a little bit about that. Its intention is it's not to grow a company and become this juggernaut or this or that. It's for a very personal reason to someone, and it was for a single event. Beyond that event, to fund a certain event, what purpose it has, I mean, I'm pretty sure its purpose was to do that. And that, once it's fulfilled that purpose, I don't know. I don't own any, and I like to think that I'm willing to prospect on and take risks. And yeah, no, whatever. It's XRP 388. Yeah, The one that I really liked was that they'll win the lawsuit against the SEC and become the new SEC. And because that makes complete sense. The layers of what? Huh? It's either just, kind of off the deep end. I get you want it big, but a mocking, the fun thing about conspiracy theories is the plausibility that they could be true, or the at least rooted in some sort of plausibility where you're like, oh, it gets you thinking. But when they're just so absurd, they're not even like, no, that's not that. It shows a lack of understanding of even the fundamentals of what certain things are, how some of these key players even work. To be, to me, it's not even like a theory. It's like that's Family Guy saying, just doing retarded like jokes back to back, which is amusing. I mean, Family Guy can do just complete asinine jokes, and I'm like, oh my god, that's hilarious. But they're trying to be a joke. If you're trying not to be a joke, then I just question strategy. But whatever. Maybe that's just me. I don't know if you guys saw the South Park episode where they make fun of how Family Guy chooses its jokes, and it's like these random balls, and they combine. Whatever. Watch the episode. It's pretty funny. And yes, on the TV in the office, sometimes, especially Omar loves Family Guy. He'll have that just playing in the background all day on a loop. So yeah. King of Gotham City crying. Which blockchain are we at war with? Well, not Solana. One much closer to home. And we're not necessarily at war with the blockchain. See, that's the thing is some of these companies, they have their own blockchain. Sometimes they have multiple blockchains. They have their own wallet, they have their own exchange. Sometimes they have an international exchange, and they have a US-based exchange. But at the head of it all is a central company controlling all these different assets. We know we have some similar stuff set up with us, with holdings companies, things like that. So when we're, it's much closer to home who we're at war with. And we're not technically at war with a blockchain so much as a division within, and even then we're not at war because it's much more institutionally, like on a personal level, total acceptance, great. Let me just paint out, what's up, Fred, a hypothetical scenario. Suppose a blockchain. Now it's part of this whole umbrella company, right? Massive company. On the blockchain, they'll do business with you directly. So they're like, hey, happy, load your stuff in here. Come on to our chain. Come on, parties this way, right? And then because they know that if they invite you, and they're inviting all the scammers on there too, knowing full well all they have to do is look at their code when they onboard tokens. They let the scammers on. They let them all on. They don't give a shit from appearance wise. Maybe they do. I don't know. Hypothetically, they don't care, because whether it's legit company or whether it's a scammer, guess what? As long as you're on their blockchain, they're making the gas fees. The parties over here, they're making money off of everybody, scammers and legit. They don't care. They don't have to care. They're like, this is wonderful. Unregulated, just freedom, just come on over, right? And so because the blockchains are not under very strict jurisdictions, although I'll show you in this next article, there might be a little heat on some people. There might be some heat coming. And so I'm not saying it's related to that company or anything, but I mean, I'm not saying it's not. But so that's the first part of what they do is they onboard everybody, scammers, legitimate, because it makes them money. And generating revenue for them, that's great. It's all lanes on the freeway are open. But so from their umbrella, from a business perspective, right? Now, I'm not saying it's related to this article. I want to make sure that you guys understand. Everything I'm saying, it has nothing to do, may or may not have anything to do with anyone that's on the screen right now. I just want to put that out as a clarification. So, so all the freeway lanes are open when it comes to generating revenue for them, and everybody is on board. What they have to do is they have to close the freeway lanes when it comes to those people's ability to cash out of their economy, to actually translate it to whatever fiat currency and so all lanes are on board for generating revenue for if you want to legitimately like do business with them. That's where they close the lanes and they make it so that you can't pull money out. That's the way they keep their revenue. So they make the money, and then they stop you at the gate when you want to cash out, basically. And so it's a very only on ramps, no off ramps. So whatever umbrella company is doing that is shady and should be investigated for being shady. Should go, and I think a spotlight should go on, and if they're officially doing that, so how would they do that? That's the other question. How do you close, like, how do you make it so that a legitimate blockchain developer or company can't go from your BNB token, if you're on this one, or Ethereum or whatever it is, how would you cut off exit ramps, at least from them, to make sure that you don't have excessive withdrawals? What you do is you say, well, you can set up an institutional account with us, and we'll put you through a procedure. You fill out paperwork, gobs of paperwork, personal bank statements, your everything that you could ever want to do. You jump through all these hoops, and if you do that, you're going to have really high limits of what you can onboard and do either cashing in or cashing out with. That's how you would do it. You would basically say that you're going to do this, but even you make the hoops that people have to jump through to onboard incredibly tedious and painful. What you're going to do is you're going to diminish how many people even go through the trouble, because if you make it painful enough to set up an account, from even a perception standpoint, like, well, I'll just do a personal account. Well, filling through a personal account is way different for tax purposes than going institutionally, and the numbers that you can cash out. Like, people generally don't have as much revenue as what businesses generate, right? You're dealing with much bigger numbers of businesses or potentially cashing out. And so you do several things. If you were to hypothetically have ill intentions, you'd make it really painful, and then at the end of all the hoops, you would just reject, right? And then another thing you would do is, if you know you're doing it for bad reasons, you would say that you can't even disclose why you rejected, right? You can't even talk about it, right? We don't go into details about why we're rejecting your institutional account. That's what you do. You would make it really hard. You would end up rejecting, and then you would have a cloud of secrecy of why you chose to reject, and you would have no way to track how many people have institutional accounts, so that no one could really vet. You wouldn't show your acceptance versus rejection rates. You wouldn't have any of those things, which of course they don't show that, because the reality is they get to reject almost, potentially whoever this would be would get to reject pretty much 99% of the people. So that would be a policy that a company that's doing shady business could do. They could, all on ramps are there, all off ramps are limited to a trickle, and that way it diminishes the ability for people to cash out in large chunks. And whatever company is, if they were doing that to us, there's a couple ways that we could do that. We could sue them, right? Or we could go public and put a spotlight on them and get published, and could have people lining up actually to publish those right now, depending on how things turn out. And we could make headlines, and it could be a positive thing for our coin price because of what is this coin? Just people curious. So, and then if we could still sue them after the fact. So if they've cost us business because of bad policies, those are all things that hypothetically would be on the available for us. So speaking, let's talk about this. U.S. sought records on Binance CEO for. I haven't read this. I just saw the headline, and so I'm very curious because we are on the Binance blockchain. U.S. federal prosecutors asked Binance to provide records about its anti-money laundering checks and communications involving its CEO. The December 2000 request was part of the justice. So it looks like it's old, but maybe it's just kind of coming to fruition. Asked Binance, the world's largest. Oh, they're big. That's interesting. I didn't know they're that big. They didn't know that. So to provide extensive internal records about its anti-money laundering checks. Section asked Binance voluntarily hand over messages from Zhao and 12 other executives and partners on matters including exchanges, detection of illegal transactions, recruitment of U.S. customers is also sought. Any company records with instructions that documents be destroyed, altered, or removed from Binance's files or transferred from the United States. Interesting. It sounds like it's not just general phishing. They're looking for something specific. December 2020 request was not been previously reported. Oh, so this is something from years ago, year and a half ago, at least, that just never made the headlines till now. Was part of the Justice Department investigation into Binance compliance with U.S. financial crime laws that remain ongoing. 4 people familiar with the inquiry said. The authorities said people are investigating whether Binance violated Bank Secrecy Act. This requires crypto exchanges to register with the Treasury Department and comply with the anti-money laundering requirements. Yada yada. The law designed to protect U.S. financial institutions or cannot establish. Regulators across the globe are reaching out to every major crypto exchange to better understand our industry. This is standard process. It doesn't sound like that what they're doing is standard process. It sounds like they're really trying to, but maybe they're just leveraging their authority. Series of routers, Binance compliance program enabled criminals to launder at least over $2 billion through in illicit funds through the exchange. They could have a little bit of trouble on their hands. They've got deep pockets. I would never attempt to go directly to legal against them because they could bury you with their billions of dollars. But obviously, headlines can still be published. Even a company that size, they can still make negative headlines if people shed light on some of the shitty business practices. So it's kind of interesting. So very interesting. So both of these things involve crypto exchanges. Obviously, this one they classified this as a rug pull on the $2 billion that the exchange kind of pulled out of Turkey. Nobody's calling Binance a rug pull, but even a big company can be with certain probes in their business practices. Can shed some light on shitty things they do, that's for sure. Whether it's money laundering or, not specifically them, of course, but even where they're diminishing your off ramps and not randomly, but systematically rejecting institutional accounts. So very interesting. Let's go to this view. Oh, hey. Let's talk about the coin internationally, very briefly here, guys. Internationally, we are going to see people onboarding. We are working with Telegram groups, not shilling, but specific ones targeted to their groups. We are working with any TikTok so far, Tanya?
Yeah, we have some.
We've got TikTok people lined up. We've got YouTube influencers lined up. We've got, aside from things that are in the works, these are things that are happening like they're getting paid out now to get going and just starting to post. So you're going to see more people come into Telegram. You're going to see the holder count grow. You're going to see the coin price start going up now. It's been a selection process. We have an entire, we break it down to show, where money's going. We want to make sure that it's being spent wisely. And so it's been a long list that they've been generating where we've been deciding who makes a cut within the budget. And so all the, if there's more, hopefully less bots and more real people, certainly bots are a huge problem. The bots even sniff out, they're like, oh, let's go over here. And I don't know if they pay attention to their traffic or they pick up on keys and they, one bot goes in, the other one sniff. I'm going to follow where that bot goes. Who knows? Bots are definitely a problem on both Telegram and Twitter for sure. Elon Musk is right, in my opinion. I don't know for sure, but seems to be. So let's see if we got anything else. U.S. based is going to be. We've got a budget dedicated for U.S. advertising, just U.S. advertising, and it's much bigger than international right now because it's easier for us to play in our own backyard, and it's all those dollars are on hold until Omar finishes. What I do want to do is get some fresh blood in. And what I didn't want to do is because I know that if we, like, let's say there's an influencer that costs us some money to crypto or money, whatever, to promote our stuff in the U.S., I really want them using the buy now button. I don't want them promoting us because they're going to get whatever traction in their audience the most upfront, and then it's going to diminish and drop off, and then eventually it becomes where you can pay them again, but they've already moved. The people that were going to come over already did, and so I didn't want to go too early on US before we have that button because it's so key and it's so close with Omar. Honestly, beginning of the week was really he's not here. Like yesterday was only worked a couple hours, and then the previous 2 days the productivity was super low. He's falling asleep. It was like, what's wrong with him? And then today he didn't come in at all. So he could be back mid next week. I don't know how long the delay will be, but I know this: if all the other teams are reporting their stuff's in and good and we've verified, we still need him to glue any revisions together because nobody other than Omar on our dev team holds all the pieces. He's the hub, so it's also protecting our IP. No one else, if all these disconnected systems within the dev team, they don't get to share directly, and it keeps things compartmentalized so that only Omar, who is not just the leader of the dev team, but he's also a partner in the company, has all the IP, is mega trusted above anybody else, of course. So not we don't trust him, it's just how we have it structured. So other than that, guys, we will do a quick giveaway. I'm going to recruit Angelina to do that. Angelina, will you be willing to do a giveaway?
You can do it?
Do you have it all prepped? Is that is that what this is?
So, go right here.
Sound effects on?
Yes.
Oh, okay. All right. Never mind. I'm going to turn it on.
And right here.
All right. And right there. All right. And this is not going to repeat any of the same ones you've gone over, right? This is brand new?
I have the new questions right there.
All right. Wait, so why do I need these? So these are the ones you've put in here digitally?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Coconut Fred can't play. Sorry.
So this is a Coconut Fred question here.
They only have 2 minutes, by the way.
Okay, what is the highest global crypto market cap to date? We're gonna go to question number 2 since I didn't ask if they were ready.
Shuffle.
We're gonna go to. Okay, we're shuffling. Every day feels like I'm shuffling. All right. So, all right. Are you guys ready? That was a warm up. All right. So here we go. What is gas? Oh. It's your best explanation as to gas. I like it. That's a universal thing. It's so obvious. It's sitting right in front of us. I feel like we need some music. Oh, we're not allowed to sing. They own that. We better not even hum it. Then we're gonna owe them pays for moving crypto. I like it. Red Rebel, you get it.
Woo!
It is transfer fees a little a gas. Oh, you know what? Look at what Yenadu typed out. A gas fee is the term given to the transaction fees on a blockchain network. I'm going to go ahead. Transfer fee, Adam, is I think a little too vague. It's too general. So I'm sorry on that, but I am going to give Red Rebel 2 and Yenadude, I'm going to give 1. Adam, I got you. I got your back anyway on other things. So, but thank you guys. Some of your I1s, Red and Yenadude, and Adam, I got you on some other stuff. And thank you everyone for today's stream. I won't be doing one tomorrow. I've been signing up on a lot of coin listing sites. I've been working with BSC Scan to get our proxy server verified. We're having to kind of brute force that through. We have a lot of things working on the back end that I need to it just takes a lot of time. So all that's happening, it's a copy and paste edit, my friend. Yeah, no, I like it. So anyway, guys, we will see you guys on either Monday or Tuesday, and we will be on Telegram pretty much all weekend long. So, and of course tomorrow is not weekend yet. But Monday might be a thin day because I think about half of us are taking it as a holiday for Labor Day. So anyway, congratulations. Message me on Telegram if you're a winner, and we'll be available on Telegram.